There we go.
You got only half of your face, Paul.
Oh, not on it. Oh.
There we are.
Right. Very funny.
Okay.
Have you let one go?
No, I've not let one go.
Someone has.
I didn't let one go.
Me.
You take me. It's that phantom.
That's
Not
yeah.
me.
There we go. They're all in now.
Disgusting. It's not me.
Gross.
If it's on. I can share it out.
Gross. It's gone again.
It was. What?
Yep. I might use that one in a minute. I might actually get you because I'm terrible at reading.
Oh, well.
I can be.
That was good.
Kids are nervous,
Go from
I am.
experience.
Got it.
Can't go wrong with that, can you?
Depends how nervous I am.
Hmm?
Depends how nervous I am.
What do you know?
I think I'm a bit stuttery. I'm just not a kid.
There
I
we
can
go,
read
one
out
up.
without stuttering.
Hello, the one person that is on.
Hello, one viewer.
Me.
It's Paul.
It actually is. It actually is.
Oh.
Oh, it's sad, isn't it?
It's not too
No,
bad.
actually, it's not me. I'm not even on
It's
it.
not him.
Oh, okay.
Could be our top fan.
Could be our top fan. Who knows?
Oh, there we go. Yes, it's okay. Hello, 2 on there.
Oh,
I bet your mum's one. Look,
You're another.
I've just gone on.
that's the 2 then.
Yeah, you are the second one.
I've literally just gone on before that came on before I went live.
I can go live. I can go on. That'd
Should
be
I
free.
watch?
No, we're all right.
Should we all watch?
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah. We'll just wait for a few more people to pop up.
If I nod off, that's my dad.
Your dad, hello.
Recovering from this afternoon. Oh, I'm sure you had a lot
I
of
think it's hard work, isn't it?
What's he been doing?
puppy sitting.
Oh, was he? Oh.
Been puppy sitting.
Yes.
And what looks of things, has had a right afternoon.
Well, we had the right time to come home.
Yeah, we did.
Plus, I clean pen out, so we'll just let him out.
Yeah. Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Wow.
Bad idea. That.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's when they're all asleep at end, isn't it?
But they probably like going into each other.
Yeah.
Teddy drinking water. You don't know where to look, Teddy, half the time. Where's that bit where they were going?
Oh, go. Help, Jan.
Help,
Hello,
Help,
Jan.
What did you do?
Acting tails.
You make some right noises. Help everybody coming on.
Hello.
And then they sleep
They'll be all
snoring.
fast asleep.
Then they fast asleep snoring.
Mad half hour.
Mad half hour.
Help,
Mad
come
half
on.
hour. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? We
Hi,
all
all.
alright? Are you alright?
We're not bad.
Tired. We're not bad though. It's bank holiday.
Not bad.
Bank
not
holiday.
bad. Not too bad.
It's bank holiday, so we're okay.
I've got my brew, so I'm all right.
And you've got your murky apple juice
I have.
in an apple glass.
I'm looking forward
Wow.
to this
Oh, you know.
because these two are doing the chat with their topics. Because it's me
Ah.
that gets some, and now these are going to have some topics.
Well, he has a backup just in case.
All right, everybody popping on.
We
I hope
actually
everybody's
have
okay. Yeah, I know what we're talking about because they've not told me. It's a secret, top secret tonight.
Yeah.
You have to start. You can start. Shall we start? We'll start.
Shall we
Should we start?
We'll start.
Good
Anybody
night.
comes on, you can always recap, can't you?
Well, I'm
You haven't got Adrian on there. Yeah,
I am.
Do you want us? We need to nudge in a bit.
I'm
more.
going to have a stick juice. I'm all right.
There we are.
So-
I'm okay.
Take it away, Adrian.
So I'm going to tell you a personal story of mine. What happened to me a long time ago. I'm talking about when I was young. I'm now in my 40s, so not that long ago, actually, probably 20 years about. So do you believe in kind of sleepwalking?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Jacob used to.
Because brother used to, didn't he, Jacob?
Okay. So
Badly.
this is what's happened to me. I had a sleepwalking experience, but a bit strange because I stayed at somebody's house and and it was a couple of friends of ours, and we had to share beds because it's a small house and yada yada. And so I woke up, but I couldn't feel anything of my body. It was literally, my whole body was like paralyzed. I couldn't move or anything like that. And then I thought, that's strange. And then eventually I nodded back off. But then I found out all this, what's happened at the end when we woke up, what happened. Apparently I woke up, got out of bed with my eyes closed. They've got those kind of like tall mirrors for wardrobes. And I literally went straight up to the wardrobe, looked at myself, but my eyes are still closed. I walked round to the bed, went to the person who was in the bed, looked at that person with my eyes closed still, and then got back in bed and then went back to sleep. And the person, obviously, it was in the bed. It was actually really freaked out as well because he thought, why are you got
What's going on?
I know. Yeah. But I didn't find out all this information until I woke up in the morning. He says, yeah, you've been sleepwalking. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know.
And obviously you don't remember.
I don't remember anything of it.
You don't mind how many times?
I remember the part when I couldn't get out of bed. Initially, the whole body was like, my eyes were, I felt like.
It's
sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, was I kind of dreaming I was sleeping? And then, I don't know.
That's sleep paralysis. A lot of people have that, don't they?
So it's like was I having a dream in a dream?
A dream in a dream in a dream.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
I love the thought of lucid dreams, where that's basically a dream where you know that you're dreaming and you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of sort of a dream and it just sort of happens, it's like you're asleep and you think, oh, I'm dreaming. And you can literally do anything.
You can control your dream.
You control it, basically, yeah. You anything. You could sit here and think, oh, I want a Lamborghini. And you look behind you and there's a Lamborghini. It's like, oh, now I want £10,000. Then you'll have £10,000.
You do that thing at lucid dreaming where if you go to bed, and as you're in that state where you're nodding, you keep thinking of something. You can do it with red balloons. So if you did that tonight and did red balloons, thinking that they'd fall asleep.
Jan put red dreams.
Oh, God, Jan.
No, it wasn't a wet dream. And I wasn't drinking that night either.
It could have been wet if you fell in bath.
Yeah, so you think about red balloons, the next day you'll see red balloons everywhere.
Yeah.
That's red car, you'll see loads of red cars. So you've got to be that sense, that state of mind where you're just dropping off to sleep.
Well, I've been like that recently.
Hi, everybody.
Where I've been in that sort of state where you think, oh, I'm just going to sleep, and you get really sort of tired.
Heavy eyes.
Yeah, and then next minute there's barking because dogs woke up.
Transport further, it happened again. And I literally got out of the bed, and then I thought there was actually somebody at my window. I used to live in a flat, and I went, "Oh, there's a guy stood out the window, really, you know." And the person says, "No, there's nobody there. There's nobody at your window." Because yes, you are. They're right there, right in front of me. And by this point, I still had my eyes closed. So I was literally reliving a dream, but physically, which was. It's probably, I've not told anybody about this one. It's just a bit strange. And I think that's kind of enlightened me a little bit more to do with doing spiritual stuff. And it kind of encouraged me more to try and be more open the senses and everything like that. You know, just try and be a bit more of a medium in a way. Not like full on, like full time, but it kind of.
A bit more sensitive.
Yeah. And I think from this point, you should realize it makes you think, well, there's obviously something that's obviously controlling my body. And why would it do that?
Controlling your mind.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, when you can, like you say, you're awake, but you can't move.
Yeah.
You can't move anything. It's scary, isn't it? It's like, wow.
Because I remember a few times Jacob used to sleepwalk. And there always used to be a thing. It's like we'd have a bunk bed, but I always remember that we'd had a bunk bed before Jacob was big enough to go in it, so it was there for when he sort of grew into it. So I always used to sleep on the bottom. Yeah. And his cot used to be in front of the bunk bed, so it was in like a line. And he always used to get up at night and get into bed and go to sleep. I mean, I always thought it was the weirdest thing, but I don't know if he was sleepwalker. He's always been active in his sleep.
Yeah, it's been terrible. I've woke up, he's been stood staring at me. What? Like,
do you think it's like stress or something that your body is literally acting out? Just, I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. It's like restless leg syndrome, isn't it? And
I've got that.
It's like, is your brain just constantly
going
at it, even when you're asleep?
But if you're medium or anything, and you get voices as well, You know what I mean? You get woke up with stuff like that. It's a bit. I don't know if anybody else has.
It's the strangest thing I've ever felt.
I've never had that. I've never had.
You literally
never
you can move your eyes and stuff like that, but you can't move your body at all. It's like everything's. It feels like somebody sat on me. It's how weird it feels. Like you literally you're dead weight. You can't move.
Yeah, it is
That is sleep paralysis. Yeah, but you didn't see anything.
No,
it's when part of your brain shut down, but one part's awake.
It's freaking me out.
It's like your body's basically asleep, so your muscles are all relaxed, but your brain is awake.
This is all happening when I'm actually dreaming as well.
Yeah,
so I'm in the dream having a sleep paralysis. I think this is what people said, and it's just strange. And then I got up. It's like my body I wasn't in control of my body. Something else took form of it and just took it around. I literally stood at the mirror for a very long time, just looking at myself. Like the person jumped in and thought, right, this is who I am.
My mate used to. This is true story, mate. He used to wee in his wardrobe. A sleepwalker, but wee in his wardrobe.
Really?
All the time. Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, just wake up a wardrobe door, walk in, wee.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true story.
I mean, yourself?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. No.
That's weird.
He's even slept at his mate's house.
Mm-hmm.
Even went into their mum and dad's bedroom and weed in their wardrobe. He was asleep. He just gets back in bed. He didn't know nothing about it. He was standing choke for ages.
Wow.
Really, really weird.
So I have got another story. That was my kind of bit of a weird one, personal one.
That was your opener.
That's my opener.
That's his opener.
That's definitely an opener. So this is my second story. Now I've got this online. Bear in mind, I'm not the best reader in the world, so I've printed it really big.
Oh, that's my kind of writing.
Yes. So now this story is about an axe murderer.
An axe murderer?
An axe murderer's house.
Right.
It's kind of a bit of a attraction. I think the story's been going around a lot about this axe murdered house. So I'm going to read it as best as I can.
Is it in America?
It is in America. But there's a twist. The story that you probably know about because it's been on movies.
Is it a true story?
Yes, true story. It's been movies and stuff like that and everything. And but there's another side to it as well. So I'm just going to read up a little bit back up what it says about the story. So Bill, I can't remember what I say.
Villisca.
But Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa, was a well-known tourist attraction for the ghost hunters and horror lovers alike. The site of a grandiose, unsolved 1912 murder, with 6 children and 2 adults had their skulls completely crushed by an axe of unknown predator, was purchased in 1994, restored to 1920s condition, and converted into a tourist attraction. It costs £428 a night stay. Stay at the old haunted home, where visitors always report strange paranormal experiences, such as visions of a man with an axe roaming the halls and a faint scream of children.
Ooh. I've heard it. I think I've heard it.
I think I've heard of this.
In 2020, in November of 2014, the haunting took a darker turn. Robert Stephen of Rhineland, Wisconsin, was on a regular paranormal visit to visit friends when true horror struck. So basically, his companions found him stabbed in the chest, apparently self-inflicted wound. 999 was called, was brought to a nearby hospital before being helicoptered to a different medical center in Oham. The sheriff said that the self-inflicted injuries was about 12:45 a.m., which is around the same time of the 1912 axe murders in the house began. Lawrence recovered from his injuries, but has never spoken publicly about the occurrence of the day. From Martha Lynn, the owner of the home, the incident was very upsetting. The publicly, but not exactly of the kind of publicity you desire to have. I don't want people to think that when they come to the house, I'll move there, something is going to happen that's going to make them do something like that. The house remains open for tourists to visit and overnight stays today.
Oh, Wow, what film's been that?
I don't know what films, but
It sounds like a bit Amityville.
It does sound like that, but it's not.
No.
It's a different one. So basically, a guy.
Is it?
It's not Thingy, is it?
No, I think it's the one with I can't think of his name now. Is a ghostwriter. He don't believe in ghosts. He writes ghost books. He's not very good. And I think it's called Room. It's in a room, but they make it into an hotel, and the room is called Room 101 or something.
Yeah.
And if you stop in it, you're meant to like die in that room.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, I'll stop in it," but it like drives you mentally insane, and you end up.
It's possible that he.
I think that's what it is. I'm not sure.
Would it be a case of that he did try and stab himself or self-inflicted, or is it something that possibly?
If it's based on that hotel, I think it's called Room 101.
Yeah.
Can't think of the actor. Let me see if I can find it. But it's a room that it's actually something to do. They reckon it was something to do with a gas that drove you like a bit insane. If you're in there long enough.
But it's a bit strange.
Horror films about hotel rooms.
It's a bit strange that
There we go.
how it came up with paranormal.
That's it. Room 1408. That I think that's what it is. It's brilliant. It's a right film.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it debunks paranormal, but then it goes to stops and this. I want to. They won't let him in.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll pay you this. I want to stop, and eventually you get them to stop in.
Yeah.
John Cusack.
But the thing is, the main question is, would you stay the night there?
Yeah.
After whatever, that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cusack.
Cusack.
John Cusack. Cusack.
Cusack.
No, it's John Cusack.
Cusack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I'd stop in there.
Would anybody,
I hope everybody's joining.
would anybody else stay there if knowing what's happened?
I would.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I mean, asking the guys, would you stay in a house that's haunted? And there's a guy who's potentially been possessed to actually stab himself. Would you actually stay in a house like that?
I think I would.
Definitely.
100%.
That's what we're here for, isn't it? You find out if it's real.
Well, that was in my other story. If I end up staying there, I'd probably end up like sleepwalking and end up
in a wardrobe.
Yeah.
Healing everybody.
Yeah, in a wardrobe.
You're sleepwalking again. Yeah.
Next. Yeah. Put it down.
Put it down. Go on.
Yeah.
Adrian.
I've got another funny story about that, but it's not sleepwalking.
No, you can.
I used to work with some painter decorators, the Raytons, and they went away on the job. And they'd sleep in bunk beds.
Yeah.
And they went out for a drink, got very drunk.
Yeah.
And one of them woke up and I thought got a leak.
Mm.
And one was trying to eat ashtray, and they were coming down, hitting him right next to his bed and smashing all over him.
Oh, nice.
Still that drunk. Hey, they the days.
So that's my two stories.
Unfortunately, different that.
Yeah, a bit of personal and a bit of
something different.
Different, yeah.
It's a history.
Now, my original story was about a mountain, which you probably got wind of.
Mountain.
A mountain.
So the one with the Russians where they meant to get it by Yeti, or
wherever. Yeah,
it is a weird one.
Do you know what? I think you actually talked about that, wouldn't you?
I think I have.
So
they went trekking and then they found the bodies.
Yeah.
Some died of hypothermia running away from something.
Yeah.
Then one had got eyes missing, one had got the arm missing, one had got the leg missing. Like something had attacked them, and they reckon it was a bottle of snow. And actually, Russians put a hunting for something. And one reckon it were aliens because it took like the eyes and stuff. No, took the eyes and stuff like that. And there were a big investigation over a year.
Some say it might be UFOs.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
there's all sorts of stories.
Yeah,
but
right.
Nobody knows apart from people who've died.
That's it.
That's it.
Right, Benjamino's got any comments. Hi, everybody.
I don't think so, but yeah, cheeky Jan says, it's sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because a lot of people think they've got demons sat on them and monsters, and there's a typical one that they call it the old hag syndrome, and it's basically an old woman, a really horrible looking old woman that you see and comes and sits on you. And I know thousands of people of the world get it.
Yeah.
And nobody knows
What's
why.
that dreaming? But they see that same man in the dream. There's a
thing. It's a poster.
People see the same man in like a long coat.
I'll try and find it.
People have the same dream. It's the same man, but in different countries. They see the same person, and nobody knows who this man is.
Talking about dreams, you ever had a dream that you had a mobile phone?
No.
In your dream?
No.
Why not? Because
know.
we use phones every day. So why don't we dream of us
Ah,
being
they
on
are,
a phone,
look.
mobile phone?
Yeah. I don't know. You don't dream about technology, though, do you?
Yeah. So
What's Stuart? Is it Susan? What's Susan?
Susan,
Is that it?
the Hat Man.
The App Man. That's
Well,
it. That's the one.
A lot of people have been having dreams of these like for years all over the world, and someone actually drew a picture of it,
Yeah.
posted it, says, "Has anyone else had a dream of this man?"
Mhm.
And millions of people have says yes.
From all over the world, aren't there?
Strange.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, show that. Look. This is it.
Exactly the same.
That's a strange face.
Has anyone ever dreamt of that man? Write your names in the comments.
Looks like it's a crowd watch.
If the man is
Looks like a crowd.
watching,
What's Colette put?
Has anybody ever dreamt that man before?
Ooh.
If they have, I'm really probably I'm
That's
really
if anybody's
terrifying.
dreamt of that man.
if
Has
anybody's
anybody ever
joining
dreamt
and
of
they've
this
got a picture of a man, it'd be like, what the hell?
Has anybody ever dreamt of
What's
this man?
Colette put? Let's put something.
I feel like you might get something there tonight, even though it's still light. Well, I think anything can happen, whether it's dark or light.
Anything can happen. Yeah. Well, maybe.
Looks like my ex.
Oh, Jan. We're on car watching all.
Right.
Crime watch.
Crime watch. That made me laugh.
Yeah, who does Crime Watch? Peter Kay, isn't it? Is it when they
Phoenix
get
Night.
that from Phoenix Night? No, it's when they do that reenactment. It is, isn't it? Phoenix Night. That's it. Yeah.
So
Right,
those are
Dan
my
Perry
two
did it.
stories so far. So I think you've got something.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone. I'm assuming everybody would have heard about it, but I love talking about it because it's my favourite paranormal case.
It's going to be. It's your favourite. It's going to be the girls in London.
The Enfield Haunting.
Enfield Haunting.
My favourite paranormal
Yeah.
case for many reasons. One, because it's the most well documented poltergeist case that
What
there's ever
Susan
been.
put there, I don't
Is it
do.
already.
No, looking. What's the? I'm
Shutting
trying
you
to
down
keep
straight
up
away.
with comments. Susan, I had what?
One comment.
At the bottom. I can't read. It's too small.
I bet I do. No, he's freaky.
He's freaky.
Freaky. Yeah.
Freaky beaky.
Oh,
Professional.
come on, you're well prepared there,
Well
aren't
prepared.
Do you know what? I
Yeah.
should have done that as well with my little.
you?
Yeah, we could have had a proper little.
Come on, get you on now. Can you all do that?
Can you do that? No.
It does
Look at
that.
this, look.
Mine does
Little fairy stones.
that. Right, go on then, man.
So yeah, the Enfield. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. Happened in Enfield in London. It's one of the most well documented, if not the most well documented, poltergeist case in the world. Obviously, it's very controversial. A lot of people think that it was put up. A lot of people think it's totally fake. Some people think it's completely real. Some people think it's a mix. I personally think it's a mix.
I do.
I had to Google because I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
So I've never heard of that. It's right. I can remember when I was a kid,
Yeah.
they were actually playing the recordings on the radio when I was a kid, and it scared me then. We used to hear pots of pans, but people
voice.
believed it because even though it was just the sound you're hearing,
Yeah.
it was the way they told the story. But yeah, go on.
So, I mean, I'll read it out for you. So, it happened in the late 70s. So, it all started in a quaint.
Quaint.
Did they mean quaint or quiet?
Quaint.
A quaint home in Enfield, London in 1977 when Peggy Hodgson, a single mother of 4 children, heard loud noises coming from her daughter's bedroom. When she went to tell her daughters, Margaret, who was then 13, and Janet, who was then 11, to settle down in good sleep, so that's how me and Jacob used to be, instead of roughhousing, whatever that means, she found them huddled in the corner with terrified expressions on their faces. And then this is like a quote from them. We told that our mum, the chest of drawers in their room was moving, basically. So they were laying in bed.
Yeah.
And obviously the mum was in bed. She's a single mum. So she's obviously incredibly stressed out. They've not got a lot of money. It's one of them sort of houses where they're sort of living on like a tenner a week. So they're she's obviously very stressed out. She did have 4.
Because the father left, didn't
Yeah,
he?
she had 4 kids. One was naughty. I think, judging by
The little boy.
what they were telling me, I think from what he's got, I reckon he'd got bad autism. But obviously back then, nobody knew what that were. So you were basically like me. You were a naughty.
Class as a
You're a naughty child. So he used to go to like a private school. So he weren't really present. The other child they'd got 2 boys and 2 girls. The other boy was very shy. He'd got like a speech problem. He couldn't talk properly. And then the other 2 girls were sort of early teenage years. So they were very active and very sort of playful. So obviously she's in bed, absolutely exhausted. She can hear banging from their bedroom. She's thinking, oh, go to sleep. It's late, blah, 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 blah. And it just kept going on. She says, right. So she goes into their bedroom, and obviously, like it says there, they're absolutely terrified, saying that them chest of drawers is moved. She's going, pack it in. Don't be stupid. Go to sleep. I know it's you banging. Don't be daft. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then apparently she saw the chest of drawers move by itself across and cover the door. So it slid right across and covered the bedroom door.
Wow.
So then after that, there's like,
so
she ended up calling the police, and they came in and they basically thoroughly searched the house and thought, there's nothing going on here. There's no strings. There's no trickery. There's no tomfoolery. There's absolutely nothing going on. And apparently there was a little rocking chair in the kitchen, and the mum was talking to the policeman. They says, no, we've had a look. There's nobody in your house. There's nothing going on. We can see that you've not put this up.
Yeah.
And this rocking chair moved, and the policewoman saw it.
She admitted.
She admitted to this very day that she swears, and they checked it afterwards. There's no string.
Yeah.
That moved. So obviously they thought, well,
not tiny mice underneath, like
the plants.
Yeah.
No, she swears that there was nothing there that could have caused it to move. So she says, well, I think you need people more than the police, basically. So a lot of the paper people started coming to the house. There were a bloke called, if I can remember his name, I think his name was Graham something. And I can't remember what the newspaper were, but he came and obviously were taking pictures and the family and stuff and what had gone on. And allegedly, whilst he were there, they'd spent a while in the room and they could hear banging, but he thought it was the kids doing it. And he thought there's got to be some people in the house that's hiding and doing this. So he's thinking, well, I'll stay. A lot of them went home. A lot of them thought, yeah, there's no going off here. We're going. He says, no, I'll stay a bit longer and see what's actually going off.
He got hooked into it, didn't he?
And he thought he were really interested in it. And he's thinking, there's nobody making noises. And everybody's in the room. He's asked if he can look around the house. There's no one in there. And yet he can hear banging on the roof and the walls and all this sort of stuff. And apparently, next minute, Lego bricks started whizzing around the room. So he's got his camera out and he started taking pictures, and I think you can actually still see them pictures on the internet where everybody's looking petrified in his marbles.
You can see, but they come through the ceiling.
And he says, and he could see that nobody were chucking them. And he were taking pictures, and he ended up getting hit in head with a Lego brick.
I think there's recording after recording after recording.
And you can hear these recordings and you can hear stuff being thrown and people screaming, and obviously
go on YouTube. You can watch
yeah,
it.
they're all on YouTube. And then so basically after that happened, obviously word got out to the SPR, which is the Society of Paranormal Research.
Yep.
They basically like a group of people
that mystics in a way.
Yeah.
They
more. I think they. Well, not that. They more. No, they more like parapsychologists. They don't necessarily believe in.
There was like
in the
mix,
paranormal,
but
they'll
trained
investigate it.
There was a bloke called.
Oh no, they're not trained, are they? Because they're just a mixture of.
I'll explain. So basically, there was a man called Maurice Grosse, who obviously was the lead investigator of this case, and obviously, if it weren't for him, you wouldn't know about the Enfield haunting, because he really kept it. Him and Guy Lyon Playfair, because he wrote a book about it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So basically, he went, and Maurice Grosse was an inventor. So he invented. Can you remember years ago when you'd go to a shop and you'd see them signs? They were basically posters, but they'd swap.
Good mate, I'm yawning. They're roll round.
Like a roll poster. They're quite old.
Yeah. You used to be this you just roll round and another one. Then
so you got a Cadbury's chocolate bar. It'd swap.
Oh yeah.
It's like an holiday advert.
I know what you mean, yeah.
He invented them.
All right.
He invented them. And they were working on all sorts of different things. And obviously he thought he's always had an interest in paranormal because his daughter, who was called Janet, got killed in a motorbike crash. And him and his wife were claiming to see ghosts, and they were convinced that she was trying to.
Because the girl with daughter called Janet, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she basically that's how he got like interested in paranormal. So he thought, and then obviously he'd seen this SPR and he's joined them, and he's been on a few cases with them and different bits and bobs. And he says, we've got a case which is popped with your interest. He says, all right. He says, yeah, it's in Enfield. He says, there's a family, there's 3 kids in there, there's a single mum, and there's all this going off. He's like, yeah, I'll go and have a look. So he drove and had a look. And I think from the time he went in that house, he was there every single day for over 2 years.
Yeah,
really.
But they didn't like him, did they? The SPR. They were like an outcast, weren't they?
Yeah, it was. No, he basically got accused of keeping it going. So basically, when stuff were happening, people were
Yeah.
saying that Morris, you're only there, you're winding it up, you're aggravating
Yeah.
it, you're trying to get it.
Middle of a story, yeah.
I want to roll.
We're on a roll here, and she's coming with cake tin.
Sausage
Going
roll.
off.
Not a sausage roll.
Just pass it round.
Yeah, what is it though?
Try it.
I know, but
Does anybody else try that?
what is it?
Looks like
What
cat
is it?
food.
Try it.
Even got a spoon each. What is it?
I've got more than it's like cat food. Is it salmon paste?
That's nice.
Salmon.
That's nice. We'll go on with the story in a minute.
Not mousse.
That's nice,
The
that.
chocolate mousse.
What is it?
Nutella cheesecake mix.
Oh, Nutella cheesecake mix.
So it's horrible. I'll just leave it. Just
That
leave
was
it.
vile. That's
Just
disgusting.
leave it there.
Yeah.
That's vile.
That's nice,
That's
that.
disgusting.
Very good. Good. Very good.
Thank you.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I'll have another scoop.
Yeah, we'll have another.
Hey, hold on a minute. We'll just
Here we
feed
go.
it. We'll just feed
This
that.
is like the interval.
I don't nick it all.
This is like, do you know what the interval? Do you know when they come round with confessory?
Can I just get,
What's in a theatre?
get me edited?
Probably would. Yeah. You know, like they come with little trays with ice cream and stuff like that.
Nice.
Is this when we're all just going to like drop to sleep in like
Just put
20
your spoon
seconds?
in there.
Just leave it there.
There we are.
Thanks.
That's it.
I'll take it on my
Right, we'll carry on now. What jam
I
call?
don't know what else to say that.
Can I, Jan wants some as well.
Good
Mum.
Jan. Jan.
When's Jan coming up?
Jan is up on the 15th.
I'll make sure
Of
I've
June.
got
We'll save you
Oh,
some.
so it's got want to get you some when you come up, Jan. Right,
That's
yeah,
right.
carry on then.
So yeah, basically they accused Morris of
Thank
keeping
you.
it going.
Yeah.
But before all that happened, he was having a look around. Eventually, after a while, he's like, well, there was spoons being bent, there was fires starting, money was basically bursting in flames, like self-combusting. There was chairs moving. According to him, a big sofa chair lifted, spun in the air and dropped again.
Yeah.
And he says, and I've seen this with my own eyes. And he says, there's all sorts going off. And he says, right. He's got his tape recorder going. He says, because what he used to do as a little test, he used to hide it under their bed in the two girls' bedroom because obviously stuff started happening with Janet, the younger girl.
Yeah.
He's like, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide
Maureen.
a tape recorder under their bed and try and catch them out. And he'd sit there and he'd sit up all night with his tape recorders listening. They'd basically got these cameras where you could set a camera up in the bedroom and they could sit downstairs with a remote and just take random pictures just by clicking a button. So they could just sit there and just check a random picture while they're in a room.
Yeah.
And one particular night, one of the next door neighbours was round.
Yeah.
And obviously a few members of
Did they
the
make a movie of this?
Yeah.
I
Conjuring
reckon
2.
I've seen it.
Conjuring 2, that's about it. It's very very
I think the best,
Hollywoodized, but that is the
I
story
think,
of it.
I think the best film or thing is on Apple TV,
That documentary is fantastic.
where they've actually used the proper tapes for the voices.
Yeah.
The people that dubbed it, haven't they?
Mm.
Yes, that's.
They
that's
did. They did a TV. Sky Living did a TV show about it. It come out 10 years ago.
Bloody
No,
night.
2015.
Oh, see, didn't we?
There's 3 episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's. But anyway,
Yeah.
what was that?
Something outside.
So
Oh, but
basically, then after that, they're all round. They're all sat downstairs. Their kids have gone to bed. Next minute, they had a massive thud. So they've all gone running upstairs. Margaret, the 13-year-old,
Margaret?
was crying. They went inside, and Janet was on top of the radio, curled
on a
and
chest of
fast
drawers.
asleep,
Strange.
absolutely fast asleep. And
And people seen them floating out the windows as well, like the lollipop
you're
lady.
butting in.
Sorry.
You're butting in. You're
Zip.
zooming ahead. I'm here. You're here.
Zip.
Zip it. So basically,
Zippy.
Yeah, zippy.
I told you we were going to make it drag out. Basically, then another man got involved. Who was involved with SPR called Guyline Playfair, and he was like a journalist and a writer. He's done loads of paranormal books, and he went to investigate. And basically, him and Morris became like that. They were like a team. They were there every single day, all night. They barely ever went home. They was always there because we're getting to the bottom of it. And obviously, you were writing a book. And eventually, I think when levitating started happening, basically, they lived across the road from a school, and Lollipop Woman were outside, and she remembered turning around and apparently there were a cushion on top of their roof. So thinking, I don't know what a cushion's doing on top of their roof for. Harry's got there, just look, the cushion.
Back when in the 70s where I used to live, there were all sorts. Kids are throwing them
And
out.
she could look in, and she said she looked into the window because their bedroom backed onto the front road.
Right.
And she could see curtains swaying. She's thinking, well, there's no wind. You know what's going on there? The glass is shut. And apparently she could see Janet lying flat, perfectly flat, floating up and down like that. And she's thinking she's putting that on. And apparently she went home and tried it and she couldn't do it. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
And so when this photographer Graham heard about the levitating, he got a bit doubty about it and he ended up backing away a little bit. But obviously Morris was like, no, we're getting to the bottom of it. And he got invited to a lot of talk shows and he got slated.
He got slated.
Absolutely
you did in them
ripped
days.
apart,
Yeah,
saying, it's not real. You got to prove it. And it's like, ghosts aren't real, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I've seen it. It's like, you know, he got ridiculed.
Hard to prove.
He got very much ridiculed. Paul looks tired.
I'm shattered.
It's the extended family.
I'm shattered this week.
Saw that talking.
Been hard work.
So then eventually people was like, right, Morris, you've got to go. Leave him alone. It's just basically saying you're causing it. It's like, well, I'm not. I'm only trying to find out what it is. He says, no, you're literally causing it. He says, right, okay. What I'll do then, I'll leave him alone. He says, I'll go away and see how they cope. And I think he says within I can't remember if it was 2 days or 2 weeks. It was a very short amount of time. They were begging for him to come back.
Yeah.
Saying, you've got to come back because it is not going, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And it was getting to the point where Janet were getting scratched and she were having fits, like actual fits.
She ended up in hospital.
She ended up in hospital. They had to come round and basically tranquilise her to get to sleep.
Would you say like a loony bin kind of hospital? Like a
like a mental
ward.
hospital, like a mental ward.
Yeah.
because they just don't know what to do with them.
So basically, they thought she's going crazy. Basically, saying it's not a ghost. It's basically all she's yeah. But like I say, there's a lot of people that think the girls were putting it on to keep because they like the attention. Because obviously they were in newspapers. They were getting quite famous because of it. They're on news. They had BBC coming around and interviewing them, and that's the
what year was this?
1977 and 1978.
Wow.
So like I remember it being played already. It's not just the voices as well.
And the voices.
Was you about 40 then?
Yeah, no, 32.
And there's obviously the voices which were put on tape and stuff around.
That was just Janet, weren't it?
Yeah. It did it eventually a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Basically, they're all sat around
Cool,
and he's thinking, right, obviously they're thinking, we know you're right, you know that you can move things, you can bang, you can not, you can flip chairs, you can bend spoons, you can do all this. It's but no, it's his why can't you talk? Say something. And apparently they like a dog bark. And I would have thought of it, Jane, because it come from a direction. She's like, that with you? She says, no. So where me? She says, sure, it come from behind me. And obviously she was sat down and thinking, well, that's weird. So basically they heard it a few more times, like growling. And they says, no, it's definitely coming from you. And he says, no. She says, it's coming from behind me. So I think he ended up at one point, some members of the SPR came to sort of get to the bottom of these voices because obviously they were broadcast on news, it were on television. There were tape recordings going out to the universities for investigational purposes and stuff. And apparently she, Morris, put water in her mouth.
She taped
her mouth shut and says, right, they've got the name Bill. He says, no, my name's Bill. I lived here. I died in this house. Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, genuinely happening. The SPR people were in there because they were very skeptical. I taped her mouth shut and it still spoke.
So
clear as day.
And they were saying she's a ventriloquist. She's got talent, and there's always an excuse for it.
Yeah, they just don't want to own up.
Yeah,
to
they're always
She's an 11-year-old girl, but if you hear voices, it sounds like a bloke. A really gruff voice, like really. But she's an 11-year-old girl.
Really deep.
And is it kind of hard to them when you listen to the voices?
I'll have to find. I'll find some videos.
Oh.
Basically, they found out that there's a part of your throat where it were coming from, and it's not up here; it's down here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
Does that where kids?
There's some monks that can use that part of the
it's really low, and that's where it's coming from. And now the voice is coming through her. She's speaking it, but people reckon that she was possessed by this spirit, which was talking through her, which is why this voice was coming out of her. People say,
is one of them dead?
No.
or they're both alive. And
One of the boys died. He
yeah,
had
but the
cancer.
girl, they both to this
They're
day,
still alive. They
still
the story.
still the story's not changed.
I'll try. and
They
find-
still say it happened in a real
Yeah. They